Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at pictures that prove your life is a lie. So we've already seen some pictures that prove your life is a lie, but here are some more and they are very surprising. So check them out and see if you knew any of these common lies. Get ready for your mind to be blown and a lot of myths to be busted. But first, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in at number 10, we have Disney princesses. So we all know some facts about the Disney princesses. You learn about them in the movies and there's a lot of trivia about them online. But have you ever wondered what their ages are? You likely assumed they were all around 20, but that is not the case. Out of the 10 main Disney princesses, only 4 are adults. Jasmine from Aladdin is 15, Pocahontas is 18, Cinderella is 19, Mulan is 16, Tiana from Princess and the Frog is 19, Ariel from The Little Mermaid is 16, and Rapunzel from Tangled is 18. Belle from Beauty and the Beast is 17, and Aurora from Sleeping Beauty is 16, while Snow White is only 14. It's insane how young these Disney princesses really are. But there's even a site which shows the age of every single Disney princess ever. I don't know who has time to write that stuff out, but it sure is surprising. None of the princes actually have official ages. The only time a prince's age has ever been revealed was with John Smith. We're told he was 27 when he encountered Pocahontas, but that was in 1607, and Pocahontas was only 12 years old. Now that is just creepy. No 27-year-old should be hanging around with 12-year-olds. Yeah, I'm never gonna watch Pocahontas the same way ever again. Next up is gummy bears. So we all love the candy gummy bears. They've been around forever and are some of the most famous candies in the world. They come in many different colors and flavors, and you probably assumed that the colors would match up to the flavors. In most cases, that's right. For example, the orange gummy bear is orange flavored and the yellow gummy bear is lemon flavored. But did you know that the red gummy bear is actually lime flavored and the green gummy bear is strawberry flavored? That's right, for some reason these have been swapped around. I'm not sure why this is, but it seems like a lie messing with our heads. In reality, it's likely something to do with production. For example, the flavorings or colorings may be different, but either way it really messes with your mind knowing that the red gummy bear is actually lime, and the green gummy bear has been strawberry all this time. To be honest, I didn't even notice while eating these. It really goes to show that vision probably affects your tastes more than you realize. Next up is Isaac Newton's apple. We all know the story of how the concept of gravity was discovered. Isaac Newton was sitting under a tree, an apple fell and hit his head. There are many famous drawings and references of this happening, and even the original first Apple computer logo was this happening. Yep, that's where Apple's apple comes from. But anyway, despite all of the references, this never even happened. There is some truth to this story. That is that Isaac Newton saw apples falling from a tree and then decided to look at gravity. But an apple never fell on his head. It's so strange as we're taught this in school, and many school textbooks even have a photo of an apple falling on his head. I know mine sure did, but it turns out this is all one big lie and an apple never fell on his head. Nobody's sure where this myth originated from, but it was likely drawn or written down once and then copied many times, despite it being totally fake. I guess the apple falling on Isaac Newton's head makes for a funnier story. Next up is penguin knees. So most mammals have knees, but of course penguins are flightless birds, and birds don't tend to have knees. Well, what if I told you that penguins are one of the only birds with knees? You may think this is a lie, seeing as you can't see them, but that's simply because of how penguins' bodies are made. Their legs, knees, and webbed feet are set back on their body. This allows the penguins to stand upright. We all know that most birds don't stand upright on land, but penguins do, and it's all down to their knees. Take these knees away and penguins would be bent over like most other birds. But despite us not being able to see their knees, they're there. When scientists first found this out, they were very surprised too. Most people don't think they have knees as you can't see them on their legs. But unlike humans, penguins' legs are set back on their body. This means their bellies get in the way so you can never see their knees in person, but they sure do stick out on an X-ray. Next up is Hello Kitty. So Hello Kitty is one of the most popular toys on Earth. It's a massive franchise and has made billions of dollars. We all know that Hello Kitty is a cat. I mean, just look at her, she's got ears, whiskers, and even a cat-like face. But that is where we're all wrong. The creator of Hello Kitty, called Yuko Shimizu, said it's not even a cat. That's right, when she first made Hello Kitty, she wrote her background. She wrote Hello Kitty is a cheerful and happy little girl with a heart of gold. She says she simply named Kitty, and she says that Hello Kitty has a pet hamster called Sugar. It's pretty ridiculous that Hello Kitty isn't a cat, despite looking exactly like one, and Kitty being in her name. It seems like Yuko was trying to troll everyone and succeeded. Next thing, you'll be telling me Garfield isn't a cat. For the record guys, don't worry, he is. But it's still blowing my mind that Hello Kitty isn't. Apparently in Japan, where Hello Kitty is from, everyone knows it's not a cat, but I guess that news never made it over to the USA, or anywhere else for that matter, as everyone else appears to be shocked. Did you know that Hello Kitty wasn't a cat this entire time? Next up is commercial honey. So it's no secret that commercials are not reality. We have an entire video pointing out all the sneaky tricks advertisers use to trick you, but here's one we didn't include on the list. Have you ever seen those IHOP commercials with honey drizzling over pancakes? They look delicious, but did you know what the honey really is? Instead of using honey for those ads, they use car motor oil. This is because it's like honey but looks better in photographs. It's pretty gross that we're drooling over motor oil instead of honey, but that isn't the only advertiser trick. They also use glue instead of milk on cereal, and instead of ice cream they often use mashed potatoes. That is because all of these things look more appealing on camera, but perhaps the strangest thing of all is that hamburgers are covered in shoe polish. This is to give it that natural shine. We're all very disappointed by our burgers in real life, but in the adverts they just look so good. Those adverts definitely work though, as I go to McDonald's every week expecting something like this, but I always end up with something a bit more like this. Next up is Septemberfest. So you may be asking, what is Septemberfest? Well, it's nothing, but what we do all know about is Oktoberfest. It's a very popular German beer festival celebrated around the world now, but despite the name Oktoberfest, it's not celebrated in October. Instead, it should be named Septemberfest, as it's now celebrated in September. So why is it called Oktoberfest? Well, when the festival was first introduced, it was celebrated in October, but in October in Germany, the weather's pretty bad. However, in September, it's close to the summer, so it's better weather. Oktoberfest didn't used to be the massive commercial enterprise it is now. It used to be a simple festival you could do at any time of year, but now it's celebrated worldwide and people prefer it to be sunny. So that is why, surprisingly, Oktoberfest is celebrated in September. Have you ever celebrated Oktoberfest? And if so, did you do it in the traditional October or the new September? Next up is Arizona drinks. So we all know Arizona drinks. In fact, Arizona seems to be the only drink which has never upped its price more than 99 cents. Thanks, Arizona. However, there is something Arizona is hiding. Due to the logo in the name, you may expect the drink to be made in Arizona. I mean, it literally says it in the name. Well, that is why you would be surprised if you turn over your can and see it's made in Canada. That's right, this drink isn't even made in the USA, let alone Arizona. I'm not sure why they make it in Canada, perhaps it's cheaper to do. But even so, this really does prove my life is a lie. On the back, it literally has an American flag in the shape of the USA, and it says an American company. Well, despite it being an American company, it's a product of Canada. Yeah, I really don't get how that makes sense. It's kind of like how Apple says their products are designed in California, but they're made in China. I guess our entire lives are lies. Next up is grass greener. We all know the expression, the grass is greener on the other side. How many times have you looked over to your neighbor's lawn and thought it was greener? Well, there may be a secret reason for this. That is because some people actually spray paint their grass. That's right, this is done commonly in a lot of rich and fancy areas. Rich and fancy areas of course want to have nice green grass, but in hot areas such as California and Nevada there's massive amounts of drought. This means people can't water their lawns as there's simply not enough water. That is why many people have taken to using green paint on their lawns. This is actually worse for their lawns, and in the long term it makes them more yellow. But I guess if you just keep going over it in green, nobody will know the difference. So if your neighbor's grass is very green and yours isn't, then maybe check out what they're doing. You never know, they could be painting their grass this entire time. But do you ever paint your grass green? If you do, just be sure to not wear a fresh pair of Air Force Ones on that, otherwise they'll come out looking green. Next up is toilet paper. There are many things which divide the world, and one of them is which side you put your toilet paper on. Some people do it pointing behind, and others do it pointing forward. There are two types of people in the world when it comes to this, but which is correct? Well, anyone who puts their toilet paper on the underside, I'm sorry, but you're doing it wrong. That's right, overside is correct, but how do I know this? Well, somebody actually tracked down the original patent for toilet paper. That's right, there's an actual patent for toilet paper. It's now expired and anyone can make it, but ages ago somebody actually came up with this idea, and when they did, they drew it with the toilet paper going over. It may surprise you, but 40% of people actually do it going under, and that of course means 40% of the world is doing it wrong. Let me know in the comments whether you do it over or under. Coming up next is baby carrots. So, there are two kinds of carrots in the world, right? Baby carrots and regular carrots. Well, that is where you would be wrong. Most people think that baby carrots are a different product, but no, they're just carrots cut to a smaller size. Baby carrots start off life as regular carrots and then cut and sanded down to that size. So, when people say they prefer the taste of baby carrots, you can call them out on lying. It's simply a placebo as they taste the same. The idea actually came about by a Californian farmer in 1986. He preferred to cut his carrots like this, and he saw they sold well. He actually did this to avoid slight rotting and make the carrots look perfect. This is because baby carrots are sanded down while regular carrots are not. But despite what many people think, baby carrots do not come out this way. They come out with all the imperfections of regular carrots and then are sanded down to look perfect. Did you guys know about this? And if so, will it change your carrot eating habits? Leave a comment telling me if you prefer regular carrots or baby carrots. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the biggest lie on this list. I think it's gotta be the gummy bears, as that really did surprise me. Be sure to check out my second channel. There'll be a video on screen for that in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.